Hello everyone. Today, for our reading lesson, we're going to take some time and talk about poetry. We're going to talk about elements of poetry. But I wanted to take today's lesson and focus on one specific aspect of poems, one specific element of poetry. And that has to do with the rhyme of a poem. We're going to look at rhyme scheme today. Rhyme, it's one of those words that I always hate trying to spell, R-H-Y-M-E, makes no sense. Rhyme, what does it mean to rhyme? If you think of a nursery rhyme, hickory dickory dock, the mouse went up the clock. Rhymes, like nursery rhymes. Rhymes are words that have those same sounds. They kind of, like the first part will change, but the ending has the same kind of thing. And think of a scheme. If I give you a schematic to something, it's how you build something. So here's a schematic for building a car. The scheme, how something is built. How is the rhyme built? So rhyming words are words. There are words that sound the same. Words that sound the same at the ends. Okay? So rhyming words are words that sound the same at the ends. For instance, I'll give an example here. What about example cat and hat? The AT is the same in both words. That sounds the same at the end, at. Just the C and the H are different. Cat, hat. Or about bumping and jumping. Words that sound the same at the end. Rhyming words are words that sound the same at the ends. Well, we have umping, umping. The only thing that's different is the B and the J there. Bumping, jumping. When a poem has rhyming words at the ends of lines, these are called end lines. Rhyming words at end of lines equals end rhymes. D is terrible. There we go. End rhymes. So your poem will have two rhyming words at the end of its line. So for example, my cat is nice. My cat likes mice. Bam. So ICE, the only thing that's different there is nice and mice. That's end rhymes. The end of two lines, rhymes. Lines, rhymes, is that kind of right? Now, if we're going to talk about a rhyme scheme is a way of describing the rhyme of a poem. It's a way of describing the pattern of end rhymes in a poem. So rhyme scheme is a way of, oh, I forgot to put describing there. A rhyme scheme is the way of describing the pattern of the end rhymes. So the end rhymes are like the end lines there, where we talk about how the end of the lines rhyme. So each new sound at the end of a line is giving a starting letter, and a capital A or a capital B, and so on. If an end sound repeats, then the same sound as an earlier line, it gets that same letter. And I know you're like, what letters? And so if each new sound at the end of a rhyme, or at the end of a line, gets a letter. So you read a line, it has a new sound, it has a sound at the end of the line, put a capital A. You read a second line, it has a different end sound, so it gets a capital B. But then you read a third line, and the third line ends with the same sound as the very first one, so that'll get a capital A. And we're gonna go an example here. I've got 3 poems with different end rhymes, or different rhyme schemes. Okay, the first is AAB, the second is ABAB, and the third is ABCB. And I'm actually gonna do this here. I kind of wanna move this down just a tad. And I wanna write the letters we're gonna look at. So for rhyme scheme, you've got typically A, B, B. You use these letters, A and B, capital A, capital B. And you put each one at the end of the lines that sound the same, or at the end of lines that have the same end sound. My cat is nice. My cat likes mice. My cat is fat. I like my cat. It's a simple poem. Do you hear the rhymes there? Now, to determine rhyme scheme, you are reading the first line, and then you're going to mark it with an A. My cat is nice. A. My cat likes mice. Well, the end of that line, because you can tell it's the end of a line because it's got a period there. My cat likes mice. Does that have the same end sound as nice? Nice and mice? Yeah, it does. So that would get a capital A. My cat is fat. Well, that's a different end sound than mice. That's not an end rhyme. So that would be B. I like my cat. Cat and fat have the same end rhyme, so that would be a B. That would be a B. That would be a B. You know what I mean? That's a B. My cat is nice. A. My cat likes mice. Mice and nice both have the same end rhyme. So they're both getting A right here. And when you're doing it with a poem, you write A or B outside of the line on the side here. Okay, so my cat is nice. My cat likes mice. Same end rhyme. They both get an A outside. My cat is fat. I like my cat. Cat and fat have the same end rhyme, right? So that means, oops, I'm actually going to take that off. Cat and fat have the same end rhyme, but they have a different end rhyme than nice and mice, so they get B. And this one, I'm going to tell you what it is right off the bat. A, B, A, B. But how do we know it's A, B, A, B? Well, my cat is nice. Okay. That's an A. It's the first line of the poem, it gets an A. Has an ice. My cat is fat. A-T. My cat is fat. Well, that's a different end rhyme than nice, so that gets a B. My cat likes mice. My cat likes mice. Ice for the end rhyme. That is the same end rhyme as the first line, so that's A. I like my cat. Should be a period there. I like my cat. A-T, A-T. So that's a B. A-B, A-B. Yeah. Once you see it in practice, it's not so hard. And then this one I said was what? A-B-C-B? My cat is gray. Okay. It's the first line of the poem. It ends with R-A-Y, gray, ray. That's an A. It's the first line. And if you'll notice, there's only one A in here. So that means nothing is going to rhyme with gray here probably. My cat is fat. Okay, A-T. That's different than A-Y. My cat is cute. Cute. That's not like fat, or it doesn't have the same end sound as fat or gray, so that's C. I like my cat. Well, that has the same end rhyme as line B, so A, B, C, B. Do you guys see how we're doing that? Let's review before going forward. So rhyme scheme, that's what we're looking at today. Rhyming words are words that sound the same at their ends. So cat, hat, bumping, jumping. They all have the same endings. Cat and hat do, bumping and jumping do. So they're rhyming words. However, why isn't this? Oh no, there we go. Rhyming words at the end of lines equal end rhymes. My cat is nice, I-C-E. My cat likes mice, I-C-E again at the end. A rhyme scheme is a way of describing the end rhymes. So, end rhymes, the rhyme scheme is using capital A, capital B, capital C. I've seen D. I've seen poems that nothing rhymes at all, so A, B, C, D, E, F, you know. But in this case, my cat is nice, A. The first line of a poem will get A. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is. My cat likes mice. Oopsie. My cat is nice. My cat likes mice. Nice and mice have the same end rhyme, so they both get A next to their line. My cat is fat. I like my cat. Those both have the same end rhyme, so they get B. They're different than nice and mice, so they start with B, and since they're both end with the A-T sound, they're both labeled as B. And this one here, it was just A, B, A, B. My cat is nice. My cat, that's the first line, I'll get an A. My cat is fat. Now that's different than that, so that gets a B. My cat likes mice, A, because it's the same end sound as the first line. I like my cat, B, because it's the same end line, or same end rhyme as the second line that's labeled B. And this is that one that only has 2 rhyming lines and 2 non-rhyming lines. My cat is gray, that's an A, it's the first line of a poem, of the stanza. My cat is fat, okay, B, because it doesn't have the same end rhyme. My cat is cute, that's a C, because it doesn't have the same end rhyme as fat or gray. And I like my cat, that's a B, because it has the same end rhyme as line B. Okay, now we're going to look at a couple more poems, and we're just going to look at putting the A's and the B's and the C's there. And this poem is called Mr. Brown, the Circus Clown. Mr. Brown, the circus clown, puts his clothes on upside down. He wears his hat upon his toes and socks and shoes upon his nose. Silly clown. Okay, so what is the rhyme scheme here? Mr. Brown, the circus clown. Well, that gets an A because that's the first line of the poem, the first line of the stanza, right? Mr. Brown, the circus clown, puts his clothes on upside down. Well, clown and down have the same end rhyme, so that's going to be A. He wears, and that should say his, not his. He wears his hat upon his toes. That's going to be B because that is not the same end rhyme as clown or down. And socks and shoes upon his nose. Toes and nose have the same end rhyme, so that's a B. My penmanship is pretty bad. That's the name of this poem. It's probably written about me. My penmanship is pretty bad. My printing's plainly awful. In truth, my writing looks so sad. It ought to be unlawful. Okay. We can do this, right? So, my penmanship is pretty bad. Well, it's the first line of the stanza, so that's an A. My printing's plainly awful. Well, bad and awful. No. So that's going to be B because it is not the same end sound as bad, right? Or end rhyme as bad. In truth, my writing looks so sad. Sad and bad have the same end rhyme, so the rhyme scheme of this one is A, B, A, and it ought to be unlawful. Unlawful, awful have the same rhyme ending, end rhyme. So that's a B, because that was B. My penmanship is pretty bad, A. My printing's plainly awful, B, because awful and bad don't have the same end rhyme. In truth, my writing looks so sad. Sad and bad had the same end rhyme. It ought to be unlawful. B, because awful was B, unlawful, they have the same end rhyme. So you could say it is A, B, and the end rhyme for this one was AAVP. Okay, so for the activity for this, you're going to read a poem, and I'm going to ask you to write the rhyme scheme for a couple of them. You're going to read a couple poems, and I'm going to ask you to write the rhyme scheme for them. All right, remember it has the same end rhyme. Good luck, guys. If you need help, please email me, let me know. All right?